Welcome to my channel, everyone. Today's a very special day. Today, July 14th, 2017, is the first official California monthly fishing report brought to you by Nick Too Sick. This is a brand new segment that I'm going to start doing every month, and it's going to be a report of the fishing I do for that month, how I'm catching them, when, where, everything you need to know for that month. I'm going to try to do this mid-month. You know, I like to give myself a couple of weeks into the month to really establish a pattern. You know, spend the first few days of the month junk fishing, throwing everything, figuring out these patterns, really locking in these patterns. Then I bring you the report. So that's going to be the routine every month. So let's get straight into it. It's July. It's really hot out. It's the middle dog days of the summer. And the bite is very, very predictable right now. The morning bite, you start off reactions, high tide, low light. Throw in, for the most part, I've been throwing chatterbaits this month. You know, you could really throw any reaction style bait, square bill, crankbait, etc. But I like the chatterbait because it's the most weedless, and you know, it's just really effective at catching fish and doing what I need to do. Got that big single stout hook to really lock into some bigger sized fish and you know, really just get them in the boat. So let's get into a little bit of details. The chatterbait here, basically, as you can see, I mean, I prefer my chatterbaits to be you know, shad pattern. This one here is white with a little bit of chartreuse. You can see it's got some little bit of brown in there and some black with a white trailer. You know, color isn't as important as a lot of people like to think. What's more important is that trailer. Take my word for it. Don't throw a paddle tail trailer on a chatterbait because it doesn't match what the front of that bait's doing. You know, the front of the bait's wobbling, the back of the bait's wobbling, the bass is confused, they're offsetting. So with that being said, as you can see, I like a nice curly tail or even a straight trailer like a fluke, or this one right here. I don't even remember what this is called, but you could just see it's just like a curly tailed shad. Throw that on 15-17 pound fluorocarbon, throw it up in the bank across the top of the weed beds, let it get down to the touch the top and rip it up. And you know, as soon as you get to the end of that weed bed, let it drop a little bit deeper, and then, you know, give it a couple pops to really get that skirt going and get the blade going. And you know, that's how you get those good reaction strikes on those fish that are up shallow looking to feed those positive fish. And then you can also catch those neutral fish at the end of the weed bed. With that being said, once the tide gets right, what I do is, you know, it doesn't matter. You can fish any time of the day. You know, today I started fishing at 10 o'clock in the afternoon. It really doesn't matter when. It's just the same thing all summer long. So when you get out on the water, wherever you're going to launch, just kind of stick around the marina, fish man-made structure, bridges, docks, etc. with this wacky rig. I'm catching 20 to 30 bass a day doing this, using this technique. I go out, you know, throw this wacky rig around weed beds, around docks, around bridges, and when the tide gets right, when the fish start really chewing on this and the tide moves up, that's when you switch to this chatterbait, this reaction style bait, or whatever you're throwing, reaction bait, and that's that low to high switch. That's when Big Mama's eating this summer. Is I'm catching all my big fish within 20 to 40 minutes of that low to high switch on reaction style baits. You know, spinner baits, chatter baits, stuff like that. But I've been sticking to the chatter bait, and it's been working. Your Senko, you just want to wacky rig it. You know, this is an owner size 1 mosquito hook. I recommend the ones with the weed guards if you like those. I find I get a better hookup ratio without them. I don't really use the Senko rings either. I buy Senkos to catch fish, and as long as I'm catching fish, I'm not worried about losing them. That's what I buy them for. So hopefully that'll help you out, guys. So in short, get out there, throw your Senko, wait for that tide and bite to pick up, and then follow that tide. That's when you leave. Start floating down river, follow the tide, reaction, catch a couple big mamas, 15 to 25 pound bags daily, guaranteed. So that's going to be it for July 2017. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate you checking in on the channel. You know, the sky's the limit from here. The more you subscribe, the more you like, the bigger we get, the more we grow, the better we get. So if you like what you see, it helps me out, and you know, I enjoy helping you out. So you know, I look forward to the future, and get out there, go fishing, Delta Rats.